welcome to the podcast. So excited to have you. Very special episode today. A little back to school supply list for school communicators. So you just got me today. I don't have a fabulous guest, but this is a very important message and a little bit shorter message than maybe some of my other podcast episodes. But this is my gift to you. I've got 5 things that should be on your back to school list as far as gifts to yourself and things to focus on as we start another new school year. And I hope that this podcast comes along with you all school year long. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button wherever you're listening. And also share this podcast with somebody that could benefit. We really are speaking to anybody involved with school communications and social media. So that might be a designated school communicator. It might be a superintendent or a principal, an administrative assistant, a media specialist, a teacher that just happens to help out with celebrating their school on social media. They deserve to have this free gift, weekly inspiration delivered right to their phone with them. And so if you would be so kind as to share this episode, and then let's get started just with a quick K-12 PR tip. All right, today's K-12 PR tip is a simple but effective one, especially for those of you who have now changed over to the new Facebook Pages experience, which is coming to everyone slowly but surely. They've really been rolling out a lot of folks lately. And some of you have experienced issues with sharing posts. If you see something out that you wanted to share onto your page, you're no longer able to do that very easily because you're switching back and forth with profiles and things like that. Now, I don't recommend routinely sharing posts because it's not going to reach as many people. However, sometimes you might need to do that. And so this little hack is basically just instead of hitting the share button, which by the way, you can't schedule those out, right? So that can be challenging. So instead of hitting the share button, you actually, like on your desktop, you can click the timestamp of the post and it'll take you to the post itself, which up in the URL bar has a URL that's associated with that specific post. Okay. If you click on that and just copy it and then go to Meta Business Suite or whatever, wherever you want to schedule out your post. I mean, I schedule everything out through Business Suite now on your page. You can paste that URL and it's going to be just like you would be sharing it, except you didn't have that share button. And the great thing about this is you actually have the option to schedule out that shared post instead of just hitting the share button and sharing it immediately. So this could be an alternative if you're having issues with sharing and can't get your page to show up, or if you want to schedule out a shared post, you could do it that way. On your phone, you also should be able, in some cases, share. There's like more options and you need to copy the link. And then you'd be able to paste that link into a scheduled post. And just another ninja tip, once that long, ugly URL is there and it's populated in the Facebook post, you actually can delete that URL from your post text, and the link is still going to stay there down below. So that's just another bonus little tip today. So try this out. I hope this all makes sense. But if you're having issues with a share, you can copy that URL. You could paste that into a scheduled post and you'd be able to share it like that. So I hope that tip helped. Now let's get into your back to school supply list for school communicators. All right, guys, it's me and you, and it's back to school time. There's 1,000 things probably, well, maybe not 1,000. Okay. There's 20 things on your to-do list. And I really want to set the tone for this school year with these 5 things that I think are essential for your back to school supply list. And they're not things to buy. They're gifts to you, gifts to yourself. And they're all really important. I'd love for you to write these down and kind of remind yourself as the school year goes on. But let's start at the top. My first gift to you is energy. I want to give you energy and enthusiasm and passion, but my word is energy because you are the spark plug that's going to help ensure that your school story is told all year long. Right now, back to school time, that energy is focused on getting other people excited. You've got to get excited, right? And then you get other folks excited to tell your story, and you've got to have energy. So we've got to take care of ourselves. We've got to get to bed at night. We've got to drink that water. We got to fuel our bodies so that we can have the energy to get folks excited. And I'm telling you, if you're not excited, because these last 2.5 years have been a lot of things, and it's been a challenge, but we need to really gift ourselves with that energy. So whatever you need to do, like pump yourself up. I'm jumping right now. Can you tell when you're listening that I'm jumping? I love to work out in the morning. First thing I do is I get exercise because it helps get my mindset right. Maybe you listen to music, maybe you do meditation, whatever you need to do. We've got to work on that energy so that then you can give that to your school. Okay. So first thing, energy. Second, grace. This is a big one. And whether you're spiritual or not, it doesn't matter. Like I'm talking about grace that you're going to give to others because other people this year are going to disappoint you. They're going to screw up. Okay. And we've got to be willing to give them grace. We've also got to give that grace to parents who are going to be upset with us over some decision we make that you have no control over. We've got to think in that mindset of we don't know what these people are going through, right? And so we really need that gift of grace for other people. But we also need that gift of grace for ourselves. You guys, we demand so much of ourselves. And I know this because I'm like you. Like I am a go-giver. I am a communicator. I am like, I want the best and I want to put in all of my effort. And sometimes I screw up and I'm mad at myself. If it was somebody else that did that, I would give them grace, but I won't give it to myself. That's ridiculous. So this school year, your second item on your back to school supply list is grace, grace for others and grace for yourself. I have often told people on my team, and obviously I lead this big membership group at this community of school communicators. And sometimes we expect so much out of ourselves and we're putting in all this time. And it's like, would you ever demand that of somebody else? Like, just pull yourself out of your role for right now. Is what you're doing sustainable? Like, if you weren't in the role and somebody else was, would they be able to do what you're doing? And if the answer is like a definite heck to the no, then we've got to change some things. So we've got to give that grace to ourselves. We've got to give that grace to others. I don't know if I'm making sense. I sure hope I am. This just was on my heart. I was trying to think of what I wanted to share, and this was just really on my heart that I felt you guys all needed this. So your first gift is energy, or your supply list. Energy. Second thing is grace. Third thing is it's tied a little bit to the first one in being energy, but the third is joy. I've got this sheet in my office. Joy is the ultimate creator. It's from my coach. This year, I took a big leap and I took a big investment in myself. And I've got a coach, and she's like a business coach, an inspirational coach, a personal coach, like an everything coach. Okay. And my biggest thing was I needed to rediscover my joy for what I was doing. Starting a business is not for the faint of heart. And I've worked my what off for almost the last 9 years. And it was starting to weigh on me a little bit. I'm a mom with 6 kids and an amazing husband that I love, but I was putting all my work into my work, all my focus. And I really needed to reconnect with the joy in the work and also the joy outside of the work. But I want you to rediscover your joy in the work you get to do every day, not what you have to do, but what do you get to do? I know I was just at the NSPR conference and there was a speaker that's talking about what's going well today. Like focusing on that question instead of, oh my gosh, all this stuff's going wrong. I'm so stressed out. I've got this, and this to do. But what's going well today? So what do you get to do every day? Oh my gosh. As a school communicator and a social media, like you get to focus on the positive stories. Are those negative things, are those stressful things still out there? Yes. But the fact that we get to be part of that, bringing that to the world, I think that is so powerful. So I really want you to take another look at the job that you have, at the life that you live, and try to rediscover that joy, because that is going to carry you through, is going to make the days go by faster and definitely more enjoyable. And you're going to start focusing on what's going well. So, first thing is energy. Second thing is grace. Third thing is joy. Okay. After this episode, I would really love for you to email me what spoke the most to you out of these 5 things. Okay. Will you email me? And right when you email me, I'm actually going to be on vacation. So I'm not going to get back to you right away. You're going to get an out of office reminder because I am spending the week with my family at family camp. I go to a Bible camp. I used to work there in high school and college. Now I bring my family there. So I'm not going to reply to you right away, but I want to hear it. Andrea at socialschool4edu.com. I want you to email me back and let me know which of these 5 really spoke to you. Okay. So we got energy, grace, joy. This 4th one is super important. Delegation. I want to give you the gift of delegation because you cannot do this job alone. No matter how hard you try, no matter how much you care about how exactly perfect everything must be and you can do it better. I'm living proof that I think I'm pretty awesome. I think I do really good work, but there's no way that I would be able to make the impact that I'm making today with schools around the world if I didn't have a great team and I didn't start delegating things to other people that actually have the ability to do it even better. So we need to focus on building relationships at our schools. If you don't have a team, and most of you don't, most of you are solo school communicators. You're not even designated as a school communicator. You are a principal. You are an administrative assistant. You are a media specialist. You are a teacher. Okay. But you have other people in your buildings, in your school district or your school that have the ability to help you. And you need to start reaching out and developing those relationships and making sure that you're delegating to other people. For example, you don't have to go to every single event in your school district that happens this year so that you can take pictures. There's going to be other people from your school that are there that have a camera right in the palm of their hand. They got their phone. Is their picture going to be as good as what you might take? No. For the big events, yeah, maybe you have to be there, but delegate to other people that are going to be there. We've got a ton of people and we're focusing some training in our membership group coming up on school interns, a school media team that helps you do social media. That can be a great place to delegate. Is it scary? Yeah. Do you have to let them post directly on social media? No, you don't have to. They can submit content through you. They can use amazing platforms like Class Intercom that allows them to upload things and then you can approve them. So there's ways to delegate. You need to start focusing on that this school year. Okay? Because you can't do it alone. And again, you can't take every picture. And so I sure hope that you've been following me long enough that you have an email address set up that's socialmedia@yourschool.org, whatever that email would be. And people are submitting content to you. Okay. So again, what's resonating with you? We got energy, we got grace, we got joy, we got delegation. My 5th gift to you We got to set some boundaries. Say it for the what? How do you say that? Say it louder for the people in the back. We need boundaries. You guys, it's very easy to get burnt out when you are a school communicator. And basically, over the last 2.5 years, you have been in constant crisis mode, reactive. Oh my gosh, what is my state saying that we have to do? I'm hoping that we're getting out of that. That's another prayer, but that's not on your list because that's just a hope and a prayer. But we've got to set some boundaries for ourselves. That might start with how often are you checking your email? My friend Kristen Majette once said, imagine that you physically walked out to your mailbox. I have a mailbox. You might not have one, but maybe you have to go to the post office to get your mail. But if you physically have to walk out to the mailbox to get your mail and come back, okay, imagine that. Now imagine every time you check your email, you're doing that. What would your neighbor think? I mean, I would literally be walking out to that mailbox 200 times a day. They'd easily think I was loco, right? Like, you are crazy. So we've got to set some boundaries around email. We've got to set some boundaries on when we're checking and replying. We even have to set maybe some boundaries on when we're emailing out to other people. Because yes, in some cases, once you put your kids to bed at night, you might spend a half an hour catching up on emails because you honored your family time from school getting done till bedtime to not focus on it. And so you may need to catch up a little bit. Send those emails out. You don't have to let people know you're working at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night because they're going to think you will respond to them then if you're sending emails out. You also want to not be on social media all of the time, right? You want to be able to schedule things out and make sure that people know that, hey, when you send me something, I'll post it in a timely manner, but it's not going to be immediate. I'm mainly checking my email during school hours during the week. It's okay to set up some of those personal boundaries. One of my biggest ones that I changed this year in 2022 is not working on the weekends. Is that something you need to implement? Are you getting paid enough to spend your weekends working? You need a break. Your family and your friends, and they deserve for you to have a break. That was the one thing that I changed, and it changed everything. So whatever those boundaries might be, some people have automatic out of office things, or like, hey, I am not replying to emails in the evenings to honor time with my family, but I will make sure that I get back to your request in the morning. Putting your phone in another room so that you're not constantly checking it. I mean, there's so many things. So work-life harmony is what we call it here at Social School for EDU, because we know work-life balance doesn't really ever exist. It's always kind of out of balance. So how can your work life and your home life be in harmony with one another? It's got to start with some boundaries. So there you got it. There you have it. 5 things that are on your back to school supply list. Maybe I missed something. I tried to come up with these from my heart. I just saw over 1,000 of you in Chicago at the NSPRA seminar, which was amazing. It was so fun talking to so many of you. But I can see it on your face of what you need. And so I just had it on my heart to share this episode today. So it's a little bit different than most of my interviews, but my 5 back to school list items for a school communicator are energy, grace, joy, delegation, and boundaries. Which one resonated with you? Maybe you even share that with not only me, but maybe more folks. I'm at Andrea Gribble out on Twitter. So if you want to tweet at me, you certainly can do that as well. I want this to be the best school year yet. There are amazing things that are going to happen. We've got to keep these 5 things in mind as we go throughout the school year. I love you. I'm here to serve you. I'm here to try to make your job easier. Whether you're checking out all our free resources on Social School for EDU, or whether you want to come on board and join our membership group or join our boot camp. We got an Instagram boot camp coming up. We've got a regular social media boot camp coming up. You're going to want to get signed up because those are going to fill up. We only have a limited number of seats. So if you want to make this school year even better, come on board. I'm your person. I'm your gal to help you celebrate your school in bigger and brighter ways. We got this together. You got this, but you've got to keep these 5 things in mind. So reach out if you need more support, if you need help, if you've got questions, I'm here. And I can't wait to hear which one of these 5 that you really needed to hear. Okay. Email me, Andrea at socialschoolforedu.com. We will see you next week. I will have an amazing guest back on with me, and we're going to learn right alongside one another. Until then, keep telling those stories.